Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today for Deborah Kobylt Live. Wow, am I excited about our guest who's in studio with us today, Derek Gores. He is an internationally acclaimed collage artist, and he's been commissioned by some of the likes of Playboy, the Kentucky Derby, and currently has an incredible exhibit going on at the Hotel Bel Air. Thank you so much for being here.
Goodness, Deborah,
You're a
thank you.
friend to the show now because it's your second time being here. And I went over yesterday to see your work over at the Hotel Bel Air. It's everywhere. And one in particular that really caught my attention, you know this, was in the lobby. The woman, what is she named? The woman with the dark hat. There we go.
The piece is titled Directory Assistance. But
Oh.
we don't know her name. We don't know. Maybe you can help me name her if you want.
Director, you can name her me. Call her Deborah.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at the close-up and the detail on that. How large is this? I know that it's 4 panels.
It is in total. It's 8 feet by 8 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, 96 inches square. And yes, I made it on 4 panels. It's part of the fun because I break an image up into all those pieces of paper. I enjoy making the panels that way as well sometimes.
Can we look at that close-up again, Kurt? Because I was stunned yesterday. I remember her lips in particular. What you do, basically, why don't you describe it? What you do is you tear sheets from magazines.
Right. I mostly recycle fashion magazines, travel magazines, all kinds of luxurious textures, maps, song lyrics, anything I want to, anything I can get my hands on.
Wow.
It comes down to really paying attention to the shapes. It comes down to kind of a drawing idea of graphically paying attention to the shapes or the shadows. So in the case of the lips, I do enjoy kind of a dark lipstick effect so that you can really see that contrast. And then I filled it with as many textures as I can to kind of surprise you as you get up close.
She's very Audrey Hepburn, isn't she?
She is. Some people assume it's Audrey.
Mm-hmm.
I say that they live on the same street, but it's not Audrey.
Okay. You must have a stack of magazines in your home. I'm convinced that you go to dental offices and take the magazines off of the shelves and run out the door. How do you even accumulate all these magazines in your home?
You are correct on all those counts. I'm the
I knew
guy
it.
on the airplane or in the doctor's office trying to covertly rip a page out of a magazine. Yeah, I have a giant bookshelf with lots of magazines, and then I have a bit of a system. It's tough, but I have magazines that are, I tear pages. I have the warm colors in one bin, the cool colors in another bin, a special envelope that nobody can touch that has like silver and gold, shiny stuff, things like that.
Wow. Do you, very often, I know that you're commissioned for some. Do we have the Playboy piece there with Hugh Hefner? Oh,
There
my
you
gosh,
go, yeah.
that's outstanding, that piece.
Thank
How
you.
did you even figure out what you were doing? Because you've captured Hugh Hefner perfectly, down to his eyes. I don't even know if we have a close-up of it, but perhaps we can get one. The pipe, the way he holds his hand, right?
Right. Yeah, that was, and it looks, sorry, it's looking a little funny, the colors there generally, but that piece, that was when,
Wow.
right after Hugh Hefner died, I, got in touch with the magazine, and once they knew what I did, and they said, yes, please, let's work on the cover commission. And they gave me a couple images of Hugh to work with. But of course, the one that I chose was that iconic 60s shot with the pipe and that wry smirk on his face there. And then in that case, I made that portrait all out of Playboy material.
Out of Playboy
so they
materials.
overnighted 10 different issues from all the decades, and gave me lots to work with, and they told me some of the most iconic covers and interviews. Marilyn is in there. I snuck Farrah Fawcett in there because my dad would have loved that. Just little bits of everything, a little bit of the Andy Warhol covers in there. But so it is fun to do those commissions. When I do that, I can really use kind of the history of a brand. I can use all their collateral, all their old ads and articles in the work.
I was just going to say the history, because I know you do a lot of research. I mean, I don't think you just aimlessly, put a magazine piece in there. How do you go about? Let's talk the Kentucky Derby piece for
Sure.
a moment. How do you go about historically researching, just so that some of your pieces
You know, I suppose it is like research. I keep it rather intuitive. When I do a work by commission for a client, I ask them to provide me with all the stuff so that I know it's the stuff that matters to them. In the case of the Derby, they gave me all the great old race programs and the little betting slips, and I love using things also that you wouldn't think of as art. So I in that case, like the stats, all the horse stats, and
cool.
and the maps and the track data and that kind of thing. Kind of the minutia of the day to day that the people who care about the sport or the brand. I like to use that stuff in the artwork, and then so it has like these tangents that aren't the most known iconic elements. I try to use that stuff.
Derek, you live in Florida.
It's true.
How many years have you been doing collage art? It's also very unique. There are others who may do this type of work, but I've never seen it the way you do it. You're an expert. You stand alone.
Thank you. Go on.
But it's true.
I've been an artist my whole life.
Yeah.
Right out of college, I was doing all kinds of commercial art, but it was age 37 when I finally said, let's go for it.
Really?
And go for it as a fine artist. Started with creating my work in my hometown there in Florida, and started building some buzz, and the ripples in the pond kept growing, and had some shows in Orlando and Miami and DC, and eventually got picked up by Think Space Gallery out here in LA and Culver City, and then some others, and it grew from there. And so it keeps, I enjoy just chasing the opportunities around.
I love how you got to Hotel Bel Air. Friend of mine and your publicist, Stacy Blanchet, she actually thought your work belonged over there and just made a phone call. And it
She
happened
sure
that
did.
quickly. Honestly, guys, this actually can happen if you
true.
believe in it. And it happened so quickly, really.
True, and I love collaborating.
Yeah.
And Stacy as well. We just share that energy of, hey, let's try this. Let's think of how, because everybody needs art. Art, the hotel and I are making each other look good, collaborating, making the walls beautiful. Stacy called them, and that initial phone call ended up being 2 hours long, just talking possibilities. And then Stacy and I went to the property and walked, and I was inspired by those iconic pink walls, and I started dreaming of the pieces that could.
We're
just
showing
look-
some of them from
Yeah.
when I was there yesterday. I went over there yesterday and I started snapping away. I said, "Oh, go stand over here, Derek." I was so excited to see the pieces there on the various
you.
walls. Those are my photos, folks, so they might not look, totally amazing. But if you're in LA, absolutely worth going to take a look at, right? I know they're happy with it because they're extending it, correct? The show?
That's right. That's right. They asked me yesterday morning. They said, "Could we extend?" And so we're coming up with some new details to it. Nothing firm yet, but it's been a great start. It's a gorgeous. And what I try to do is surprise you with how the art interacts with the space. So in addition to pieces on the walls, for opening night I had my butterflies hanging from the bougainvillea tree.
These little guys, right?
That's right. I brought a couple little bite-size, appetizer-size.
I love
butterflies,
these. You have
6
them
inches.
throughout the hotel. In fact, you have various pieces throughout the hotel. These little bite size, as you would call them. You have various sizes, right?
This is the smallest size in
Yeah.
the show, 6 inches by 6 inches, and then all the way up to that piece in the lobby, 8 feet by 8 feet. Quite a variety.
And obviously, they're all for sale. So
Yes, indeed. Yes, people can inquire right there at the hotel. They have a price list you can ask for. So yes, they're certainly all for sale.
You know what? In a moment, we have your friend here, Olivia Womack, and she is a Boudoir photographer.
Come on
correct?
over here, Olivia.
In a moment, we're actually going to change our shot up a little bit, and we're going to include Olivia. And she wrote a book, The Essence of Women, Boudoir Portraits. Kurt, we may just change the shot in a moment. And what I love in particular, Derek, you told me that you enjoy highlighting women, not just a woman's figure, but the essence of a woman from the inside out. And that's reflective in your pieces, in your solo pieces, but also in the collaboration that you have done with Olivia. So, Olivia, welcome, first of all. Thank you very, very
Thank
much for
you.
being here. I think we got our shot up in a minute. Thanks, Kurt, for making that happen. There you go. There's Olivia. And here is your book as well. It's
Yes,
beautiful.
thank
Essence
you.
of Women. How did you two connect? did you see her photography and you thought, wow, I'd love to collaborate with her?
I sure did. I think it was initially just enjoying on the internet for a moment, and then she came to an event and we got talking, and I recognized the quality of her work right away. And then I started noticing just that the reason the quality is there is just her energy is all about honoring women, and that all women are beautiful, and how to find that, how to make it come out in beautiful photography. We got talking, and I thought, I sure would love it if we could collaborate on something.
Do you have some of the pieces that we can show that, not of necessarily the photography, which we just saw, which was beautiful, but of Derek's work?
Sure, we have two examples that right there at the end.
There we go.
This is
There's
the kind
one.
of when I do
There
a
you go.
piece that is boudoir inspired. This is the result. So it's it's within the classic, often within the classic kind of black and white boudoir energy.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm able to work with Olivia's photographs, I have all
Wow.
those all the beautiful shots that she's taken. And on my side, I'm also able to add in things like, when we work with the subject, I'm able to ask things like, what are your favorite songs? So I can use maybe song lyrics in the artwork.
Oh, I love
Favorite
that.
cities, favorite books, favorite movies, favorite moments in your life. Those little details can be included in the resulting photograph. Or
How
artwork.
important is it to you to work with women and show women in a certain light? If you could tell me in your own words.
Sure. Well, it's very important. I'm very aware that I'm a man, and I'm so thankful to live at this moment in time. I'm a figurative artist. My favorite figurative artists were from 100 years ago: Gustav Klimt, Egon Schiele. But there's a long history of objectifying women, and I'm happy to live in this moment where I'm challenged to be better than that. Talk with my wife often about this, and other women. And so in working, I still want to be a figurative artist, but I want to have this dialogue and collaborate with women who can help me be in the modern moment and be a feminist. I am a feminist, and I want to be, and I want to have that dialogue to make the best art that I can with that spirit.
And it shows. It's beautiful. I feel it coming right through to your art and coming from you. Now, Olivia,
Yes.
we were talking a little bit about boudoir portraits.
Yes.
And you were telling me why women want to pose in lingerie or naked. Tell me about that. Beautiful photography, by the way.
Thank you. Many of reasons, honestly. I mean, there could be for a significant other. Majority of women, maybe 50-50, I would say, not majority. For a significant other, wedding day gift, birthday, anniversary. I'm just doing a portrait session, but truly, unbeknownst, became the biggest gift to themselves.
Right. Making them feel what?
I mean, it's all about just channeling. I give women the opportunity and permission to love themselves deeply, unapologetically, and so they, yeah.
What's interesting about your photography, as I was thumbing through your book, it's not just a woman in lingerie. You
Oh,
sort of
absolutely not.
feel the essence of the person. How do you do that?
They
through
have
your
a design
photography?
consultation, so I sit and we chat for a couple hours, and truly, who are they and what speaks to their soul and things that they enjoy and makes them happy. So it could be, many. Whether some people don't like lingerie, that's not their thing. So fabrics and location could be, the beach. It really who they are.
Do you airbrush? Like if somebody is not
I
pleased
call
with their
it
belly,
yummy, creamy skin.
you do yummy stuff. Okay, that's good enough
Yes,
for me.
Enhancement.
Okay.
But truly, it's to their desire, because some women, own that they have earned those stretch marks.
Absolutely. You've had a couple of kids or just whatever, you ate a
Or
couple.
scars from surgeries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there's something actually so sexy about that, and I'm sure you feel the same way, because perfection isn't real,
Right.
right? It's just not real. Some people are lucky enough to be close to perfection, but most of us aren't. And that becomes your art, right?
Absolutely.
How do you feel
Absolutely.
about that?
Yeah, I think you want to see a life. You want to see wisdom and memories earned.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
You know, it's interesting that you said that. You want to see a life, because I personally think that this moment in time, women more than ever, let's say over a certain age, over 40, are sort of getting their due, where they have wisdom, they've worked, they've raised families, they're beautiful. You know, where it used to be they were hidden. It's like, oh my God, you're over
Right.
what? Goodbye.
Yeah.
You know, you're over the hill. You can't make it anymore.
And
Now
that's
it's
a lot
almost
of my
like,
clientele.
is that right? Tell me.
Is 50 to 65.
Really?
Women that, again, they've had, and it's all about celebrating and the seasons in their life and their accomplishments and where they are. But a lot of my clientele have, their children are now, gone, and they're empty nesters, and they're really kind of connecting with themselves again. And it isn't only about the children. And so it's really super cool to have that opportunity for them to reconnect and the inner goddess within and bring that out. And
Yeah. How did you get into this? Because I know you were more like, you started with family portraits and all that, but then
Yeah.
you sort of ended up
I
in
did.
this genre, right?
I did, which I'm so grateful for.
Yeah.
So let's see. It all started, like I said, doing portraits,
Right.
family and children, and weddings. I've been professional for 24 years.
Wow.
Business on my own. This is year 16,
Wow.
2004.
When did you publish The Essence of Women?
That was last November, I believe.
And you did book signings. Are you currently doing book signings?
Well, I
or-
am. While I'm here in the fabulous LA, we are doing a book signing at Luxe Lingerie tomorrow evening.
Oh, please tell everybody.
Yes. So come on. Tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock. There will be books available for purchase.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay.
Lux,
Very, very exciting.
Luxe, right? Lux Lingerie.
And we're not
in
talking the
Beverly Hills.
hotel. We're talking the
Luxe Lingerie.
the lingerie, which is
Yes.
absolutely
Yes.
wonderful. And how wonderful of you to support your friend. I love this. Because when we initially were doing the interview with Derek about the incredible exhibit over at the Hotel Bel Air, please go there, he said, I'd really also love to highlight my friend, Olivia. And I thought that was a great collaboration right there. And
Pretty cool guy.
way to really support your women friends. I love it.
Absolutely. Well, we all enjoy passing the energy around and being inspired by each other. And of course, the collaboration is a story. But she's, of course, a force to be reckoned with herself. She travels anywhere to have these beautiful shoots. She had a lot
Sessions.
of sessions. They're not shoots, they're sessions.
I love that.
Right?
I'm not shooting them.
Right,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I'm learning vocabulary. They're albums, they're not books, and they're sessions, they're not
So the
shoots.
gorgeous bespoke Italian crafted albums, that artwork that the clients would get of their portraits, ranging from 35 portraits up to 85. I'm doing a 2-volume that I'm working on now. Should be super fun. So again, customizing the cover. Do you want a photo on it? Do you want it out of acrylic, metal? Do you want leather, yummy Italian leather that's embossed?
God, what a great keepsake.
Oh, it's
Who gets it in the divorce is what I want to know. Seriously.
I
Who
vote-
runs
I
out the
vote
door
She
with it?
does. It's
I hope so.
Always for her.
Yeah.
So back to you, Derek. Again, kudos to you for doing this. Have you enjoyed? You're also from Florida, which is how you both met, and you're in the same community. Are you enjoying your time at Hotel Bel Air? I mean, this is a whole new experience for you, right?
It's fantastic. They call me Mr. Gores at every turn. It's
What's going to happen when you go home? It's
I
like,
know, it's-
Dad
I'm
or
gonna have
Derek.
to like feed the cats and everything, and it's been incredible. No, it's a wonderful experience. My family came out for the
They
opening
did.
night.
They did.
Had a lovely treat. Got to watch the Oscars from the Beverly Hills Hotel,
Which is co-owned.
Cabanas, and by also one of the Dorchester properties. But it's been fantastic. The whole staff is just so lovely. I've been hugging everybody. Just
They're going to be sad to see you go. But what it is, essentially, it's the work that brought you here. That people can see through that work what you're doing. Anything else that you want to add? I mean, about how people can get a hold of you and your work, especially at the gallery out here, in addition to Hotel Bel Air?
Sure. I'd say for folks in Los Angeles, you can look me up at at Think Space Gallery, which is in Culver City on Washington.
How many other pieces do they have over there of yours?
I think they only have a small handful right now. They've sold most of them, so I need to get them some
You do,
new
because I
ones.
went over there not long ago, and it's like, wait, this is it? So I think they're selling out of your
Need
stuff.
to, need
Yeah.
to get some more over to them. And then I would love it if people would come to Hotel Bel Air. The exhibit was originally scheduled through February 29th, but we're going to extend that to some date in the future, maybe 2025 or something.
Yes.
And I'm in town through this Saturday. People could come see me, shoot me a message.
Yeah, you're-
Instagram.
With
at
Instagram, you
Derek Gores.
respond immediately, right, to Instagram. You know, I keep touching this little thing, and I keep thinking, what did he do? Where did he do it? It's just, I so want to know everything that you've done just to make even this little thing.
I love that it's just humble magazine scraps. It
It's
really
true.
is just materials, and a lot of people feel like they can touch it. It doesn't bother me. If we get them in a museum, then maybe
I know, I
maybe
really
the
shouldn't be doing
docents
that. I'm
will
putting
be
my
slapping
fingerprints
your
all over
hands,
it.
but it's fine by me.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, Deborah, don't do that. It's almost like it's mine. I need to purchase this one. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful.
And I mean,
And you
finally,
commission.
people can. I do commissions. Those are try to keep those pretty rare and
Really? Okay.
fairly booked up. But Olivia and I have some time, have a little bit of room that we'll take a few bookings here and there.
Anything else you'd like to mention? Who's inspiring you other than us women? Who inspired you as a kid? Who inspires you now?
Certainly, my dad was my first art inspiration. Really, he went to art school but became a florist later. So he had art in his blood, certainly. I already mentioned Gustav Klimt and Egon Schiele, really my main figurative art inspirations. On the collage side, I would say like Max Ernst and even what Andy Warhol did with using recycled materials.
I can see every one of those artists in your work. I really can. As you mentioned, the three of those in particular, I'm in a way closing my eyes and I'm thinking, yeah, I see that in that.
Good.
I see that inspiration. Isn't that fantastic? How then it comes out in a Derek Gores piece. Pretty amazing.
Sounds good to me. I'll
Yeah.
take that.
So where did you study? RISD?
I did Rhode Island School of Design right there in Providence. Had a fantastic experience there. I always love thinking back on, it was a big enough school that the departments had a nice battle. I arrived there as kind of a photographic pencil rendering guy, and then was introduced to much more abstract and wild and expressive possibilities, and that healthy fight has served me well, really.
It has.
To have the image, but the wild and crazy to play with as well.
Oh, so wonderful. I'm so excited that you were both here. Maybe we can end our show on the collaborative pieces. Can we? If we can find those, and then perhaps one or two of the pieces from
And can we mention the session?
Bel Air.
I think we could. Can we mention we
mention anything.
booked a session that Olivia
Yes,
tomorrow
tomorrow.
will be shooting with, not shooting. She will be having a session with Tracy
you.
Bregman.
Yes.
She is beautiful, and that's exciting. I
Very
hopefully we
exciting.
can publish those
Oh,
so you could show them to me.
absolutely.
I would really
She's-
like to see them.
She is all for it. We're all for it.
Yeah,
We'll
I
all
think
be
she's going to
happy.
share
Yeah.
her process a bit. So
She is.
I know
Really?
Documenting
LA
the
is
session.
familiar with Tracy and all of her wonderful time in the soaps and everything, and we've gotten to meet her now a couple of times, and just beautiful and
Wonderful
sweet
person.
and generous energy.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes, super excited.
I'm really excited that you're doing that. Oh, thank you for
That
sharing that.
happens
with
Yeah.
me.
tomorrow.
Thank
So
you.
tomorrow.
Maybe you'd have a collaborative piece later on down the road. You never
Oh,
know,
we
right?
definitely will. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
that
bet
will be.
we will.
Yeah. It's happening.
We're kind
Yeah.
of excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you both came together. I really am. Glad we got to talk to you first a little bit about Hotel Bel Air, which I find to be an enormous feat and accomplishment. I mean, they don't just accept anyone at their
Well,
hotel. So
have never.
Yeah,
They've
I'm
never-
actually their first artist in residence. Stacy was beaming over
yeah.
that fact.
I still remember when she was telling me about calling there, and I thought, man, this lady's got guts. And about a week later, it was done, if
right.
not sooner. So hats off to you too, my
Yes.
friend. That's pretty incredible. So thank you
so
very much for being here. Anything else? Anything else you'd like to add?
I think we covered it. You look terrific. Your hair's outstanding.
Yeah.
I was having hair issues, people, before the show. I'm like, wait, we can't start
She
yet.
did
My
not,
hair.
No.
No.
She looked fabulous.
Can I have some of that magic spray that you got over
Yeah,
there?
you want some of the magic spray?
Yeah.
Notice it's almost like I'm going to take this with me. Thank you. And if you want anybody to send you any magazines, should they be doing that as well? I mean, do you ever run out?
Ooh, good. Yeah. I only the fancy fashion stuff. Oh, and if you have any of the sparkly gold print that sometimes shows up at the top of Vogues or around Christmas time, sure, mail those my way.
Send it over, and you're in Melbourne, right?
In Melbourne, Melbourne,
You'll find
Florida.
them. Look it up.
Or the website, derekgores.com, or Instagram, Derek Gores. And find Olivia, too. She's worth it,
Olivia
for sure.
Womack Photography.
Olivia Womack Photography. And look them both up. They're great. They're here for a short amount of time. I guess the rest of the week here in Los Angeles.
right.
If not, DM them. That's how you find them.
Yes,
So,
please.
Olivia Womack, Derek Gores, thank you both very, very much
Thank
for being here. I
you.
enjoyed
What a
it
treat.
so much. And I hope that you'll go see them over at the Hotel Bel Air. And thanks for tuning in to us today. And remember, you can find us everywhere, honestly, on YouTube, on Facebook, on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify. I can't even think of a place where we're not, video and audio. So I appreciate everybody actually tuning in and supporting our guests and me. So thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.